What's going on, NBA YouTube? Let's talk about my thoughts on Bronny James. So, just in case you guys have not heard or something in the past, I want to say a week and a half, maybe less than that. Bronny James has officially entered the transfer portal, and there's question marks whether or not he's going to another college or he's officially entering to the NBA draft. Now, with that being said, I've seen a lot of back and forth. One, I've seen someone said he's already viewed as an NBA level defender. There are some people like there's some anonymous GM said or pissed off at him for whatever, saying, "Oh, he needs to go to another. He needs to stay in college for another year." There, this back and forth on Bronny James and what he should and shouldn't do, which is crazy to me. But back and forth on what he should and shouldn't do, coming into the this all season, this all season slash this summer, about whether or not he should stay another year in school or he should go into the NBA draft. So let me give you my thoughts on the entire Bronny James situation in this general. So first off, personally for me, I would like to see him go another year in college just to actually play a full season of college basketball. Because as you know, last year he had that health scare, and that health scare really took him out of the college game and stuff. Before, and then when he did come back, they was going to ease him back into the rotation and stuff before everything happens. But now that he potentially might go to the NBA draft or whatever, we have to actually talk about the real elephant in the room when it comes to Bronny James. I think a lot of teams, if not majority of teams, knows that putting Bronny James entering the NBA draft potentially have them going after LeBron James. As we heard, well, it was last year for the past couple years or so that LeBron James wants to play with his son in the NBA. That's been said, and then it gets ramped up that LeBron James has I believe, pretty sure he has a player's option this offseason. He has a player option, meaning that he can opt out of his player option and go into the NBA free agency. And he's also been focusing on teams on whatever picks they have to see if anybody will pick up Bronny James. Now, of course, that was all before the health scare and stuff going forward. After that, I think the last time they asked LeBron about it, I'm pretty sure LeBron said that whatever Bronny decided to do, that's what he's gonna do. So basically, it kind of felt like it was a guaranteed he was going to be probably a lottery pick or so, but after the health scare and things like that, LeBron kind of take it back because he's like, well, maybe my son is not really ready for the NBA just yet, so maybe he'll go to another year. But now he's going to the transfer portal. The transfer portal pretty much what ended up happening is, if I'm not mistaken, I could be mistaken because I don't watch college basketball. I'm telling you right now, I do not watch college basketball. But from my understanding, entering the transfer portal allows the players to go work out with teams, and these teams and GMs and stuff will tell his agent what they think they think he's going to get drafted, how high or how low he's going to get drafted. Like, oh, if he comes in there, he trains with the team and practices and all that stuff. They're like, okay, hey, Bronny's gonna be a first round pick. He's gonna be late first round, but he's gonna be a first round pick. Or they say, oh, he definitely needs another year of college because right now he's looking to be end of the draft type pick, or he might not get drafted at all. One of those type of deals and situations right there. So that's what the transfer reporter does. He can go out there, he can get some training with NBA teams and stuff, and he do workout sections and stuff like that with these teams. And then from that, they'll let his agent know what he needs to do. And of course, the agent will tell Bronny, hey, this is what the teams have been saying. This is what the Magic, this is what the Lakers, the Clippers, the Thunder, the Washington Wizards, whoever, this is what they're thinking about you going to think about. So what do you want to do after hearing this stuff? Of course, so he has a chance of where he's all right, I'll go back another year in college and get my stock up, or he's like, oh, I don't really care, I'm going to the NBA draft no matter what type deal. I'm just going to take a chance at it because, as we all know, at the NBA draft, things don't always go the way that they supposedly the mock drafts tell you to go. We've every year some YouTubers, some quote unquote professionals, whoever, they do their mock drafts for the upcoming NBA draft. With that being said, that doesn't mean that players get picked where they thought they was going to pick. Prime example, Michael Porter Jr. Michael Porter Jr. before his back injury and stuff, even after the back injury and stuff, a lot of people was like he's a top 5 pick in this NBA draft. With the Luka Doncic, with the Trae Young, DeAndre Ayton, he's a top 5 pick. But because that back injury kind of scared the first 13 teams away, Denver ended up taking him at 14. Like, forget it. We might as well just take the man because if he's good, awesome. If he's not, that's all right because he had back injuries. One doesn't matter to us, pretty much type deal. So here, for Bronny James to come into the NBA draft, we got to look at both sides. And we got to look at everything. So what I look at is, one, the person that said he's an NBA defender level already. In the NBA this year, in the NBA right now, this era of the NBA, supposedly, controversial take, I know, controversial take, supposedly everyone is a bucket getter. Everybody can score, everybody can do all this stuff. But the other side of the ball matters too. And that's where some players that should be two-way players, some of them lack in the defensive side of the ball. So are you trying to tell me that Bronny James wouldn't fit perfectly for the Pacers if he's that good of a defender? Because Tyrese Halliburton is not really a defender. But if he has Bronny James next to him in the backcourt as a defender, is that not a positive towards towards that team to have a nice elite guard defender next to their star player? I think it is. I don't know about you guys, but I think that is. I think that'd be wonderful for him to have that. So if he's NBA level defensive ready, right? If he's that at that level, that's already a massive positive to him, in my personal opinion, if he came into the NBA. In this NBA era, a lot of people believe everybody needs to be able to get their bucket and score shots. Well, let's start defensively first. Let's start with that. A player like Bronny James, if he's got his nose for defense, eventually, at some point, he could be becoming at least an average to above average 3-point shooter. The first person that comes to my mind has to be Lu Dort. Lu Dort was undrafted in my Thunder, and I'm picking up Lu Dort. Lu Dort was known for his defense. He's a really good defender. And then later on, he became a good 3-point shooter, and then he became a nice little scorer that can get to the basket. Are you telling me that Bronny James wouldn't be able to replicate what Lu Dort has done on the defensive side of the ball, to where he's so good at defense that they're like, okay, we can annoy and not pay attention to the offensive side of the ball. But at some point, when those shots are open, like players get open shots because people say, oh, just leave them on the island. Bronny will eventually he'll be able to knock those down, and then his offense starts to come around. Personally, like I said, I don't watch college ball. I don't follow these young NBA players or future NBA players from high school, none of that. I don't do any of that until I hear about them in the NBA draft, and then I'll go do a little bit, not even a lot of research, zero research, quite honestly, zero. So this is off the top of my head, all head canon. So if Bronny 6'4", by the way, he's 6'4". So Bronny comes into the league. He's an elite defensive player first, and then later on his offense start to catch up. Whether that's he's getting to the basket better, hitting 3 points at above average rate, and he can hit his free throws. That sounds like current era NBA basketball is what that sounds like to me personally. That's what that sounds like to me. That sounds like a player that you plug in and he's going to play some great defense on some guards, and eventually he might be able to become a better passer. He might be become a better rebounder, etc., etc., etc. As we all know, whatever players come from college, that their games end up changing when they come to the NBA because the NBA demands you to get better. You can't sit here and be the exact same player year in and year out. You have to make small adjustments and get better at some time. Personal opinion, if I'm a Thunder fan, so let's go with my Thunder. We don't need another guard, right? He's 6'4", he plays the guard position. We don't need a guard. But if there was an opportunity to where Bronny James, they said, yeah, he's an elite defender, and that's what comes out the training and the team said, yeah, he's actually is an elite defender. If we have him and Lou Dort in the lineup next to Shea, if it's Shea, Bronny James, Lou Dort, J Dub, and Chet, we're having a great defensive team, then yes, I'll be like, yeah, let's go ahead and draft him whenever we can. I don't think he's going to be a lottery pick, but first round pick because of elite defense, I would take a chance on that. Or even the early second round, I would definitely take a chance on that. Now, of course, this means that LeBron James could be coming towards whatever team possible. So we looking at two ways. We looking at potential. That's the word, right? That's the word that we always look at when it comes to the NBA draft. Potentially, Bronny James is an elite defensive player that had potentially to get better. He might he might end up becoming a 15 point per game scorer throughout his entire NBA career. He has potential to do that, or he has potential to potentially become a one-time All-Star. Shout out to Andrew Wiggins. He might be able to do that, or there is this, we're only drafting him because we want LeBron James. Well, at some point, LeBron James wants to play on the court with his son, and if he gets that seasoning with his dad, and LeBron's teaching him, okay, this is how the game works. This is da 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 da. It'd be up to Bronny to incorporate that information, which I think will help in the long term wise. Then you have Bronny James post LeBron James era, and that's when the team really should value Bronny James. Don't value Bronny James because you can get LeBron James. I personally believe that if he's like I said, if they think he's an elite, I mean he's an NBA ready defensive minded player or something, 1,000% I'll draft Bronny James, because why wouldn't I draft a player that could be a great defensive player? You can have all the offense in the world, but if you can't stop a single soul, that offense doesn't mean anything. If Bronny can give me some stuff could give me things I don't get, the dirty work guys is what they call it, the dirty work guys, the Draymond Greens, the Dennis Rodmans, the Ron Harper in his prime, the players that the Patrick Beverly of the world, the players that do the other stuff, because offensively they might not be there, but defensively that's what they pick up at. Don't forget, Patrick Beverly used to be, what was it, a 37 point per game scorer in high school. He used to get buckets, and then it comes to the NBA. That's not his role at all. Now he's a more defensive minded player. He's a dog on that side of the ball. That could be a potential, right? So even a player like Patrick Beverly, who made his name off of defense, pretty much defense, he's had a very successful long NBA career. If you can't tell me Bronny James can't do that, I don't think these people know what they're talking about. That's just personally me. But let me know down in the comment section what y'all thinking about Bronny James and entering the NBA draft potentially, or he might potentially go back to college. I don't know. We won't know until it's official. I don't think it's official yet. Could be here after this video or something. I don't know. But in my personal opinion, Bronny James, you do what makes you happy. If you feel like you're ready, you're ready. If not, that's fine. The NBA is always going to be there. But y'all hit the like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll be getting towards the end of the season is coming here soon. I'm gonna get my awards prediction out here this weekend and talk about some of these matchups that's coming. But I'll catch you then.